We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News, India's Voice to the World. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next hour. Russian president backs US 30-day ceasefire idea for Ukraine, but says details need to be sorted out. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy calls Putin's statement manipulative. Global stocks tumble as trade war escalates. US President Donald Trump threatens 200% tariff on alcohol from EU countries. Armenia and Azerbaijan agree treaty terms to end almost 40 years of conflict. France's Macron says agreement should open way for a lasting peace deal in the region. India celebrates the Festival of Colours. Spring Festival symbolizes the victory of good over evil and marks the end of winter. And on to the details this hour. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Thursday that Russia supported a US proposal for a ceasefire in Ukraine in principle, but sought a number of clarifications and conditions that appeared to rule out a quick end to the fighting. Putin's heavily qualified support for the US ceasefire proposal looked designed to signal goodwill to Washington and open the door to further talks with US President Donald Trump. Both Moscow and Washington now cast the conflict as a deadly proxy war that could have escalated into World War III.
First of all, I would like to start by saying thanks to US President Donald Trump for his attention to settlement in Ukraine. We agree with the proposal to cease hostilities, but we proceed from the fact that this cessation would be such that it would lead to a long-term peace and would eliminate the original causes of this crisis.
Well, the Russian leader wondered how a ceasefire would impact the situation in Kursk, where Putin on Wednesday donned a camouflage uniform, extremely rare for the former KGB officer to visit a command post. Well, Putin said many crucial details needed to be sorted out and any agreement must address the root causes of the conflict.
But who will give order to cease hostilities? And what will be the price of such orders? Do you imagine almost 2,000 kilometers of front line? Who will figure out who and when in the field of 2,000 kilometers had broken a ceasefire? And then who will blame whom in violation of this agreement? These are many of the questions that need to be analyzed carefully by both sides. That is why the idea itself is right, and we absolutely support it. But there are questions we should discuss.
Well, US President Donald Trump said on Thursday that his special envoy Steve Witkoff was engaged in serious talks with the Russians in Moscow on the US proposal, which Kyiv has already agreed to. Earlier, US agreed to resume weapon supplies and intelligence sharing with Ukraine after Kyiv said at talks in Saudi Arabia that it was ready to support a ceasefire proposal. While Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman told Russian President Vladimir Putin in a phone call the kingdom remains committed to facilitating dialogue and supporting a political resolution to the Ukraine crisis. While Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said on Thursday that Russia's Vladimir Putin is preparing a rejection of a ceasefire proposal, but is scared to say this directly to US President Donald Trump.
We
have all now heard very predictable and highly manipulative words from Putin in response to the idea of a ceasefire at the front. He is in fact preparing a rejection at present. Putin is of course scared to tell President Trump directly that he wants to continue this war, that he wants to kill Ukrainians. That's why in Moscow they are imposing upon the idea of a ceasefire these conditions so that nothing happens at all, or so that it cannot happen for as long as possible.
Якнайдовше.
And for more on this, we have Anil joining us. Well, Anil, in the recent developments, Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed his support for the concept of ending this conflict, but requires certain guarantees there. What do we make out of this highly anticipated update regarding the peace proposal?
Well, I think it's a smart move that Vladimir Putin has made, looking at the world watching and the U.S. president indicating that the ball is in Putin's court when it comes to deciding on the ceasefire for 30 days. But having said all that, it's a catch-22. I think the devil lies in the details, especially when it comes to this particular deal. The world was looking at Putin. Putin has bitten the bullet. He said, okay, I'm agreeing to this particular 30 daes of ceasefire. But the conditions that Putin has put forth has clearly left, I think, Zelenskyy in a spot where Zelenskyy doesn't know has he made the wrong choice of going ahead with this ceasefire deal. Remember, he's talking about no more infantry coming in, no more warheads being added, especially during the ceasefire period. And if Zelenskyy agrees on that line, it would leave Zelenskyy with a lot of afterthought. If after 30 days the ceasefire does not continue, it leaves Zelenskyy and Ukraine pretty exposed to rampant warfare that Putin would bring to the table. And I think still details fully not disclosed leaves Putin with a smile as he agrees to the ceasefire deal. But all in all, we'll have to wait and watch when the details are out on how this particular deal will play out. But Trump having a big say in getting both of them back to the table, and Putin admitting that along with other world leaders who have played a significant role as this particular conflict that's been over 3 years plus now, suddenly looking at some kind of hitting a pause or a speed breaker.
Right, Anil, as you mentioned Donald Trump, catch-22 situation there. How's Donald Trump responding to the peace proposal, especially considering that most of the Americans believe he has been too closely aligned with Russia?
Well, that's the surprise. If one takes a look at that survey, there are two important things that come out. First, Trump's idea of give and take. I give you humanitarian assistance, I give you military aid, you give me minerals in return. I think that's got an overwhelming response in favor for Trump. So Trump would be happy with that part of the survey. The other half of the survey, where it talks about Trump aligning himself almost on the lines with Putin and Russia, is a cause of concern, because that's talking about a new geopolitical order that the world is taking. Russia and America coming closer does leave, many other countries, important countries, part of the G7, a bit in the cold, a bit worried. But, all in all, if one takes a look at that particular development that takes place, there are close to 29% of Democrats and, I beg your pardon, there are 29% of Republicans who feel that, this particular move is almost in line with what Russia wants that Trump is doing. That clearly reflects the mood that even Republicans somewhere believe that, Trump has come, Trump has changed the dynamics of how this particular conflict has been. He's firstly blamed not Russia, but Ukraine for starting it, which is factually wrong. But then he stuck his neck out and said that. That's not all. Even Russia has changed the course of action. Russia blamed the United States for long, when this conflict was on for 3 years. But as Trump administration took over, they have blamed Europe for this entire conflict. So if one takes a look at the bigger picture, I think, they both have much to gain. Trump has much to gain in the world order, in the world pecking order when it comes to importance. And I think he's doing the right things by, making this move. And I think something that will get him a lot of ratings, especially his ratings could rise in the United States of America. But we'll have to wait for the next ratings that come into play.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anil, for all those details. And moving on, European Union leaders gathered in South Africa for a summit on Thursday, expressed hopes for a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine ahead of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's scheduled visit next month. The summit aimed to strengthen EU-South Africa relations amid global geopolitical tensions. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa stressed the importance of multilateralism and international cooperation in resolving conflicts. He expressed South Africa's support for a peaceful resolution between Russia and Ukraine and reiterated the country's readiness to facilitate dialogue.
The people of Ukraine, and indeed the people of Russia, need more peace than anyone else in the world. And our task is to urge them, to encourage them, to nudge them in the way of finding a peaceful solution. That will be our key message as President Zelenskyy comes here.
Well, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen emphasized the urgent need for a resolution to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine.
No one deserves more peace than the people of Ukraine. It is important that we work for just and lasting peace for Ukraine. We exchanged view on a process that has to lead on both sides for an engagement that we have a true peace agreement, not only a ceasefire but also a true peace agreement. And therefore it was for us very important to exchange the views on how to get there.
Well, foreign ministers of G7 nations sought to show a united front in Canada on Thursday after 7 weeks of rising tensions between U.S. allies and President Donald Trump over his upending of foreign policy on Ukraine and imposition of tariffs. Also, the group of 7 ministers from Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and the United States, along with the European Union, convened in the Quebec Hills. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio briefed his colleagues on talks on Tuesday with Ukraine in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, where Kyiv said it was ready to support a 30-day ceasefire deal. But officials said news of ambiguous comments by Russian President Vladimir Putin had broken during the session, leaving delegates unclear where things stood. Also, member nations emphasized the need for robust and credible security guarantees so that a ceasefire would be respected and that Ukraine would be able to deter and defend itself against future aggression. And U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened a retaliatory 200% tariff on imports of alcoholic drinks from European Union unless the EU removes its 50% tariff on American whiskey. Well, Trump's threat came in response to a European Union plan to impose tariffs on American whiskey and other products next month, which itself is a reaction to Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminium imports that took effect on Wednesday. Also, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Commissioner for Trade and Economic Security Maroš Šefčovič said that the countermeasures will be introduced in 2 steps, starting on April 1st and fully in place on April 13th. Laurent Saint-Martin, France's Minister Delegate for Foreign Trade and French nationals abroad, said that France will not yield to the U.S. threat of imposing tariffs on EU alcohol products and is determined to fight back alongside its EU partners. And the G7 meeting came just as Trump's sweeping 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminium imports came into effect on Wednesday, prompting immediate retaliation from major U.S. trading partners. The European Union and Canada swiftly unveiled billions of dollars in counter tariffs. Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly said on Wednesday she would be on the offensive at the G7 and coordinate a response with the Europeans to put pressure on the U.S. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas said that China gained from the trade war Washington was waging on its allies. While France's Prime Minister Francois Bayrou says EU countries will not yield to Trump's threats of steep tariffs on wine and champagne imports.
We need all governments, not only France but also Italy, which produces a lot of wine and liquor, and Spain, which produces a lot of wine and liquor. And if European nations are on their own, they won't stand a chance. And that's why we need to build European solidarity in face of this. I have no doubt that we too can show our will and our resistance, but we can't yield to these kinds of threats.
Well, the global stock market slid on Thursday, especially on the Wall Street, as U.S. President Donald Trump launched a new volley in his trade war, while gold hit a new record high. Shares in luxury giant LVMH, which owns several champagne houses including Dom Perignon and Hennessy Cognac, slid 1.1%. Shares in French drinks group Pernod Ricard, which owns 2 champagne houses and Jameson Irish whiskey, tumbled about 4%. The Paris Stock Exchange finished the day down 0.6% and Frankfurt shed 0.5%. London ended the day flat. Worries about a potential U.S. government shutdown by the weekend also worried the investors, while Russian President Vladimir Putin's limited backing of a possible ceasefire in Ukraine failed to boost the sentiment. And the Wall Street ended sharply lower on Thursday, and the S&P 500 confirmed it is a correction after fears of inflation following trade escalation. A broad sell-off sent all three major U.S. stock indexes tumbling, with losses in tech and tech-related mega-cap shares dragging the Nasdaq down most. The S&P 500 closed more than 10% below its February 19th record closing high, confirming the bellwether index has been in a correction since then. On March 6th, the Nasdaq confirmed it is in a correction by closing 10.4% lower than its all-time closing high reached on December 16th.
Today in the markets, it's concerns about the debt ceiling and the negotiations related to keeping the government open and functioning. That continues to be a kick the can scenario that I feel like we have to deal with every 6 to 9 months. And we are yet again having this discussion after having kicked the can at the end of last year. Despite softer CPI and PPI numbers than expected, showing that tariffs haven't necessarily had an inflationary impact yet, there's still concern about the uncertainty of policies and the speed of which the Trump administration is moving related to both DOGE and tariff policy.
Well, U.S. President Donald Trump reiterated desire to annex Greenland for international security. During a meeting in the Oval Office with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Trump expressed confidence that the United States would annex Greenland.
Greenland. What is your vision for the potential annexation of Greenland and getting them potentially
Well, I think it'll happen, and I'm just thinking, I didn't give it much thought before, but I'm sitting with a man that could be very instrumental. You know, Mark, we need that for international security, not just security, international. We have a lot of our favorite players, cruising around the coast, and we have to be careful. And we'll be talking to you. It's a very appropriate, really a very appropriate question.
And still to come in DD India News Now. EU leaders push for ameliorating ties with South Africa, pledge 4.7 billion euros for Africa's most advanced economy. Zelenskyy shares Iftar with Ukrainian Muslim soldiers in Kyiv. And British Prime Minister Keir Starmer to scrap National Health Service in England. Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Nipakshi Khurana. And moving on, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelenskyy held a fast-breaking Iftar meal with Muslim representatives in Kyiv. Zelenskyy said that this is a tradition of respect and gratitude to the Ukrainian Muslim community and to all our people who celebrate Ramadan. Zelenskyy wrote on social media platform X that this year, Ukraine's diplomatic efforts to bring peace have coincided with Ramadan. Zelenskyy also referred to the meeting between Ukrainian and American diplomatic representatives in a Muslim country that provided the platform for discussions. He also expressed hope that these international efforts will succeed and that silence in the skies at sea and on the front lines will help bring peace closer.
We took part in an Iftar This is a good Ukrainian tradition. It is a tradition of respect for all those who celebrate Ramadan. And today, everyone who attended the Iftar spoke about how important it is that prayers for peace for Ukraine will help us to defend our country, our independence, and to end this war as soon as possible and ensure security.
Нашу незалежність.
And in a bid to save hundreds of millions of pounds in cut waiting list and bureaucracy, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said on Thursday he would scrap a body overseeing the state-funded health system in England. Starmer was elected in July on a promise to grow the economy and rebuild public services, including the increasingly costly National Health Service. The impact of the COVID pandemic, an aging population and a series of strikes have left patients waiting for months and sometimes years for procedures dragging on the economy.
But today I can announce we're going to cut bureaucracy across the state, focus government on the priorities of working people, shift money to the front line. So I'm bringing management of the NHS back into democratic control by abolishing the arm's length body NHS England. That will put the NHS back at the heart of government where it belongs, freeing it to focus on patients, less bureaucracy, with more money for nurses, an NHS refocused on cutting waiting times at your hospital.
Well, the healthcare workers in Chile ended a nationwide 72-hour strike on Thursday, calling on the government to improve security at primary care centers and increase funding. The strike concluded with a march through Santiago, the capital, where hundreds of healthcare professionals gathered outside the National Palace to protest rising violence against the workers. Gabriela Flores, president of the National Confederation of Health Officials, warned that more drastic actions could follow in April if their demands are not met. And Armenia and Azerbaijan have agreed on the text of a peace agreement to end nearly 4 decades of conflict between the South Caucasus countries. However, the timeline for signing the deal is uncertain, as Azerbaijan has said a prerequisite for its signature is a change to Armenia's constitution, which it says makes implicit claims to its territory. Peace talks began after Azerbaijan retook Karabakh by force in September 2023, prompting almost all of the territory's 100,000 Armenians to flee to Armenia. Most now live in Armenia as refugees. The two post-Soviet countries have fought a series of wars since the late 1980s, when Nagorno-Karabakh, a region in Azerbaijan that had a mostly ethnic Armenian population at the time, broke away from Azerbaijan with support from Armenia. Well, their 1,000-kilometer shared border is closed and heavily militarized. Also, French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed the announcement, saying there are now no remaining obstacles to the signing of a peace treaty between Armenia and Azerbaijan, which should pave the way for a lasting peace in the South Caucasus. And the European Union leaders announced a €4.7 billion investment package during a visit to South Africa on Thursday. The European leaders said the visit was an opportunity to strengthen close ties with Africa's most advanced economy, coinciding with the latter's presidency of the Group of 20 nations, which US officials have so far largely snubbed. The EU trip was an opportunity to ameliorate ties with SWAD when South Africa refused to outright condemn Russia's Vladimir Putin for invading Ukraine.
Today, we are together announcing an investment package to mobilize €4.7 billion in South Africa, and this is in both our interest. It includes funding for the clean energy transition, but also funding to boost vaccine manufacturing. South Africa wants to protect the health of its people as well as your autonomy and your local industries. We Europeans want to diversify some of our most critical supply chains, and we know that viruses know no borders. So that is what I call a true mutual interest.
Well, a heated confrontation erupted in Argentina's Congress during a debate over investigating President Javier Milei's alleged ties to a cryptocurrency scandal. Opposition parties pushed for an impeachment trial over Milei's involvement in promoting the Libra crypto coin, which later crashed. Tensions escalated into a physical altercation between opposition lawmaker Oscar Zago and ruling party member Lisandro Almiron. The ruling Liberty Advances party blocked efforts to initiate the impeachment trial. Opposition lawmakers continued to push for the trial, claiming Milei's active participation in the scandal. An emergency crews in San Juan Capistrano of Southern California rescued a man whose car was trapped in the fast-moving water on Thursday. The dramatic rescue involved a helicopter lowering a rescuer to extract the man from his vehicle, which was lodged against trees in a creek. The man was clinging to a tree in the water but was safely rescued with no injuries reported. Authorities are warning the public to avoid moving water, as even small amounts can carry vehicles or people downstream. And Portugal's President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa announces a snap legislative vote for May 18th after Prime Minister Luis Montenegro resigned over a conflict of interest dispute. Well, Prime Minister presented the confidence motion last week after the opposition threatened to establish a parliamentary inquiry into his family's data protection consultancy, arguing that its contracts with private companies have benefited Montenegro as premier. And India hits back at Pakistan after Islamabad tries to pin blame on India over Baloch attack on Jaffa train. In response to media queries on the remarks made by the Pakistan side, the official spokesperson Shri Randhir Jaiswal said, and I quote, "We strongly reject the baseless allegations made by Pakistan. The whole world knows where the epicenter of global terrorism lies. Pakistan should look inwards instead of pointing fingers and shifting the blame for its own internal problems and failures on to others," unquote. And Stephen Schwarzman, the CEO of Blackstone, one of the world's leading alternative asset management firms, recently praised India for its exceptional stability and strong political leadership. On a social media platform X, India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said, and I quote, "India has excellent stability and political leadership and is our top performing market in the world," says Stephen Schwarzman, CEO of US-based alternative asset management company Blackstone. Well, another proof of the increasing ease of doing business in the country is that the company aims to double its total exposure in India to $100 billion in the future. And the Indian Film Festival kicked off in Tashkent, Uzbekistan on Friday. The 4-day event dedicated to women is organized with support from India's Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in collaboration with the cinematography agency of Uzbekistan known as Uzbekanino. Attendees included Ambassador of India to Uzbekistan, Smita Pant, and director Shukratullah Riazev. Bollywood stars Abhishek Bachchan and Sayami Kher, along with directors R. Balki and Gauri Shinde, were also present at the inauguration. And still to come in DD India News Hour. Up next, we'll get you all the live and latest actions from across the country on Holi celebrations. Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Time now for a quick recap of the headlines. Russian president backs US 30-day ceasefire idea for Ukraine, but says details needed to be sorted out. US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff to meet Putin soon. Global stocks tumble as trade war escalates. US President Donald Trump threatens 200% tariff on alcohol from EU countries. India celebrates the Festival of Colors. A spring festival symbolizes the victory of good over evil and marks the end of winter. One of India's most fun and lively festivals, Holi, the Festival of Colors, is being celebrated today. The celebrations start with Holika Dahan on the night before, where bonfires are lit to symbolize the destruction of negativity and the victory of good. This ritual is tied to an ancient story where Prahlad was saved from harm and evil was defeated. Well, on the following day, the streets are filled with excitement as people throw colorful gulals at each other, dance, sing and have a great time. Everyone, young and old, joins in the fun, covering each other in beautiful, bright colors, indulging in the celebration of life, unity and happiness that brings people closer. And President Draupadi Murmu has extended greetings to all countrymen on the Festival of Colors. She said, and I quote, "This festival of joy gives the message of unity, love and harmony. This festival is also a symbol of India's precious cultural heritage. On this auspicious occasion, let's all of us pledge to fill the lives of all with the colors of progress, prosperity and happiness," unquote. Well, while the Holi fever has gripped the Indian diaspora across the globe, foreigners in India are also participating in the Festival of Colour enthusiastically. Our correspondent Ajay spoke to one such devotee from Russia.
So we have with us some foreign nationals also who are celebrating Holi in Vrindavan. What's your name? Where are you from? And what's the overall experience?
So my name is Christina and my holy name is Madhvidasi. So very blessed to be here with my Guruji. С вами доктор Ram-Kamal Das Vedantiji Maharaj.
So how was the overall experience like, dancing with Krishna and Radha and the little children in the form of God?
Yes, great. My first holy festival. So now I understand what is it, and I find very beautiful to do it with natural flowers rather than with chemical coloring. So I'm very glad that I can witness it, and it's very nice organized in here.
And for more, we have our correspondent Ajay Mishra in Vrindavan. Well, Ajay, Vrindavan being famous for its Holi, tell us about the enthusiasm among the people there and how is the scene right now?
Lepakshi, I think today is the day of colors. As you said that this is it's a 40 days long celebration starting from Vasant Panchami till 22nd of March. So it's the longest I think in the whole country, and Vrindavan is famous for its 7 Thakurs. We know that there are 7 colors in rainbows. So people believe that they represent the 7 vibrant colors. So it's a festival of inclusivity. It's a festival of music. It's a festival of sweets. People share lots of sweets in Vrindavan. They enjoy Thandai and dance on the music of bhajans, Krishna bhajans. There is a very, very famous Holi in Barsana where gopis chase Krishna with the sticks, which you cannot see anywhere in the country. That's called Latmar Holi. In Barsana you have Laddu Mar Holi, so people throw laddus on the devotees of Krishna and Radha. So there are many colors. People play colors with the flowers, which is very, very famous in almost all the temples. And we are also awaiting the saint here who will come in this very famous Maluk Peeth, and people are waiting for him to also play this vibrant color of flowers. So there are different colors. You need to come to Vrindavan, go to Mathura The festival of Holi in Mathura is very different from Vrindavan, from Barsana, from Nandagaon. So, but you can see that the whole world, I think, is in Vrindavan to celebrate this festival of Holi. And as we can see the Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat here in form of vibrant colors, in form of great music, in form of splendid colors in the air. I cannot show live visuals, but currently we are in a temple and awaiting for the very famous flower Holi.
Ajay, we're sure that you're having a great time there. But what is driving the enthusiasm of foreign nationals in India right now to take part there in the Holi celebrations? And how is their experience? Because there are a lot of foreign nationals who we can see.
I think, the ISKCON temple is the main driver of attraction from the Krishna devotees from all over the world, because it has become an epicenter of Krishna devotion, and people from across the world. They actually, some of them are permanently living in Vrindavan to follow their Krishna Bhakti. So ISKCON is a major driver, but there are so many temples out here who are reaching, who are going global with this splendid color of, not to say the color of Holi, but the color of Bhakti, as they say. And I can see that some people are coming to my cameraman and applying a beautiful color. It's a matter of joy for the foreigners. What I've interacted with them, they are saying that they have not seen these kind of celebration in anywhere in the world, and it's a very special feeling for them to share the sweetness, to share the colors, to share the vibrant dance, the music. There are so many people playing Krishna and Radha and actually asking God to play Holi with them. So this is the land where God Himself comes for festivities. God Himself come for the daily life. So God becomes very very much readily available for the devotees, and that's what makes Vrindavan very, very special for Bhakta who actually believe in meeting their God through this very colorful festival of Holi.
All right, so colors of Bhakti playing out there. Thank you so much, Ajay, for all those details from Vrindavan. Well, in Kullu, a beautiful valley nestled in Himachal Pradesh, people celebrated Holi with immense zeal, blending traditional customs with the region's rich cultural heritage. The festival is not just about colors and festivities. It's an occasion filled with deep-rooted rituals, cultural performances and vibrant celebrations, making it a unique and joyous event for locals and visitors alike. The Holi Mahotsav also began at Rajasthan's Ajmer, marking the start of one of the most vibrant and exciting festivals in the region. Ajmer, known for its spiritual significance, transforms into a colorful canvas during the Holi festivities. The city attracts thousands of people from both locals and tourists who come to experience the grand celebration of Holi. In Vadodara, city of Gujarat, the Holi festival is celebrated with much enthusiasm, and one of the most unique and creative features of the celebration is the theme-based Rangoli display. These beautiful, vibrant and intricately designed Rangolis take center stage in the city during the festival, attracting people from all walks of life to admire the artistic expressions that honor the spirit of Holi. Celebrating Holi, Sudarshan Patnaik, known for his intricate sand art, honor Goddess Radha and Lord Krishna, the eternal symbols of love and joy, for this special Holi creation. The sculpture showcases the playful bond between the goddess and the Lord. Krishna's flute and colorful attire are beautifully detailed, while Radha is depicted with grace and elegance, embodying the divine love that is central to Holi celebrations. Prayers offered at the Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh on the occasion of Holi. On special occasions, the temple is decorated with flowers and lights, and devotees gather to offer prayers and seek blessings. The temple's priests perform special pujas and aartis, and devotees take part in the celebrations with great enthusiasm. Well, Holi in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh also is a truly mesmerizing and vibrant experience, blending ancient traditions and joyous celebrations. The spiritual city, known for its rich cultural heritage and connection to Lord Shiva, comes alive during the Festival of Colors, attracting visitors from all over the world. Well, also, the Indian diaspora across the globe comes together to celebrate Holi, the festival of colors spreading cheer and unity. The Indian community in Dubai came together to celebrate the vibrant festival of Holi at the Srinathji temple in Bur Dubai on Thursday. This historic temple, a cornerstone of Hindu religious life in the UAE, was transformed into a joyous and devotional space as people of all ages gathered to mark the occasion. Traditional folk songs and devotional chants filled the air, adding to the festive spirit. Beyond the colors and music, the event served as a cultural bridge, reconnecting the Indian diaspora with their roots while strengthening community bonds.
If you look around, everybody has celebrated Holi. It's full of colors, full of joy. The kids are enjoying there. And we do celebrate Holi even outside our country. So we don't feel that something is different. We are enjoying the festival with everyone. Happy Holi!
Happy Holi!
And for more, we have Shama Mishra joining us from Mumbai. Well, Shama, how are the Holi celebrations going on out there?
Well, Lepakshi, for starters, happy Holi, and Mumbai is popularly known as the city that never sleeps, and since 7 a.m. The celebrations have begun over here. I'll show you a little visual, a little sneak peek of these people. They are senior citizens, super senior citizens, but they are celebrating it since morning, and their celebration, their spirit does not dim down, and it's almost 2 hours or 3 hours later, they're still on it. Let's talk to them. We also would like to highlight that there is a strong message of communal harmony also coming out over here. Let's talk to the lady over here. Ma'am, how are you celebrating the Festival of Colors over here?
We are celebrating with the flowers, and because we don't want any color, organic colors we do use, but it has to be dry, not wet. So we are trying to save water and make the places dirty and environment friendly. We are playing the Holi here.
Okay. And Ramzan is also going on. What would you say about the twin festivals?
Twin festival, I'll say Ramzan is again a separating. I'm fasting, but still I wouldn't miss out on my friends and this colorful Holi. If I miss out, then next year I have to wait for it. So I would rather celebrate my rainbow day today and enjoy my full Ramzan also.
Okay, so she is here to celebrate her rainbow festival. Mumbai is also known as the financial capital. We have a bullion expert with us. Sir, the gold prices are going up, markets are going down. How do you see the celebrations over here?
Celebration is separate thing and gold price is separate thing. Gold has gone today to 90,000, which is an all-time high. And the reason for that, there are Trump has made this duty, separate duty on duty, which has gone gold to 90,000, it's all-time high. But the celebration is different thing. It is play with the colors. So that is a different, I would say different fun. Okay. It's a smile on the face. Okay. That brings a Holi. Okay. So we are celebrating the Holi.
Okay. So before talking to the main person over here, I'll just show you the visuals. There are senior citizens over here. We also have a kid over here. He's just playing back there. And there are ladies over here. There are males over here. We also have a dhol guy over here. And these ladies over here, apart from the dhol, we also have the classical singers over here who are singing and who are making these people dance on the tunes of the traditional Mathura songs, Barsana songs. And let's hear from them. Which are the famous songs that you are singing over here and making people dance on it?
आज भी रज में होरी रे रसिया, आज भी रज में होरी रे रसिया, होरी 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 बरा जोरी रे रसिया, होरी 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 बरा जोरी रे रसिया, आज भी रज में होरी रे रसिया, आज भी रज में होरी रे रसिया, अपने अपने घर से निकले, अपने कोई गोरी कोई कारी रे रसिया,
go deeper. And there's a young kid over here. Let's also talk to him. Okay, let's talk to his mom. How is the celebration going on?
It is amazing, fabulous. We are enjoying a lot. We are having a fun with our sir and having a very tasty nashta also. Okay. So I enjoyed Holi. Happy Holi to all of you.
So that is important, having a nashta. And sir, what nashta was there over here?
See, मथुरा हम जा तो नहीं सकते हैं, लेकिन मथुरा को यहाँ ला सकते हैं. होली के रसिया के माध्यम से, गुलाल के माध्यम से, और सुंदर स्वीट वहाँ से हमने मंगाई है खास, यानी गुजिया और वहाँ के लड्डू, और वो उनका आनंद लिया. यानी कि भारत एक है. हर जगह पे अलग अलग फेस्टिवल की मजा रहती है, लेकिन वो फेस्टिवल की मजा हम यहाँ पर ला सकते हैं. तो प्रियदर्शनी में हर जगह का जोड़ है, हर व्यक्तियों का जोड़ है. तो इसीलिए ये खास होली है कि नहीं?
So the way he's saying, like Ajay also said, Ek Bharat Shresht Bharat, and this is a perfect example of how wherever you are, you can have a little of India, a little bit of India with you, and this is the perfect example how celebrations, communal harmony, messages of saving water and all the fun can come together and paint a beautiful picture. Lepakshi.
Absolutely, a beautiful, colourful message of communal harmony out there. Thank you so much, Shama, for joining us. And a special Holi Utsav celebration was hosted by Consul General at India House in Mandalay. The chief guest for the event was the Chief Minister of Mandalay region, Yu Myo Ong. Chief Justice Daw Khin Tin Wai also attended the event. Mesmerizing cultural performances were presented by the Indian diaspora, which brought a glimpse of Holi's distinct colours to Mandalay and enthralled the audiences. Take a look. And we'll also take you to the heart of Brampton today, where faith, tradition and festivity came alive at the Hindu Sabha festival. The community gathered to celebrate two of the most significant festivals in the Hindu calendar, Holika Dahan, symbolizing the victory of good over evil, and Holi, the festival of colors, joy and unity. From the sacred flames that burned away negativity to the vibrant colors that painted with happiness, it was a day of devotion, togetherness and celebration.
Colors of joy, flames of light, burning the evil, embracing the bright. A night of hope, a sparking divine. Holika burns as virtue shine. Today, we bring you an exclusive coverage of a truly vibrant and spirituality uplifting celebration at the Hindu Sabha Mandir in Brampton, Ontario. The community came together to mark two significant festivals, Holika Dahan and Holi, symbolizing the eternal triumph of good over evil and joyous arrival of spring. The air was filled with devotion, color and sense of togetherness.
So this is how we not only keep connected ourselves to the culture of India, but the generations to come forward. At Hindu Sabha Temple, we also teach students not only language, dance forms, music, but also the culture, so that the next generation keeps connected to the culture of India.
This is beautiful festival, and this is a festival of colors, and you can see there are like multiple people, like thousands of people are gathered here today, and they are celebrating Holika Dahan at this point of time.
The evening began with a sacred ritual of Holika Dahan as devotees gathered around the towering flames. The fire, the deeply symbolic, representing the victory of rightness, drawing from the legend of Prahlad and Holika. It reminds us that no matter how dark the times may seem, truth and devotion will always emerge victorious.
Holi, colorful festival for our Sanatan Dharma. So that's why we celebrate this one. All Varna or Jati, all of us, we celebrate together.
Because all parts of world people are here, and different nationality, they come, they enjoy. That's what Canada is all about, multiculturalism. And I hope everybody enjoy, and please come and enjoy, bring the kids to celebrate Holi at Hindu Sabha Temple.
This age-old tale serves as a powerful reminder that evil may be strong, but goodness and faith are stronger.
You know, I just want to, like, my kids
who are grown up here, they come to know about Indian festivals, and I feel so excited because we are doing Holika Dahan in outside.
I think these type of festivals and stuff, like the community events that we're doing, I think they're really required, because in India, when you immigrate over here, you can't really like celebrate like how you did in India, and over here you kind of lose that culture. So like them, the temple doing all of this, it kind of brings everybody together.
While talking with the community people, according to them, it was not about rituals and colors, it was about embracing the essence of life, burning away negativity with Holika Dahan and welcoming love, joy and togetherness with Holi. From the flames of faith to the colors of hope, the message was clear. Goodness prevails and the love connects us all. From Brampton, this is Tarun Paul Singh.
Happy Holi!
Well, Holi, the vibrant Hindu festival of colours, is widely celebrated in South Africa also, especially in cities with large Indian communities like Johannesburg. It is celebrated with great enthusiasm, attracting not only Hindus but also people from diverse backgrounds who enjoy the festivities. DD India's Nazneen Ismail gets us this report.
On behalf of the Consulate General of India in Johannesburg and India Club SA, we welcome you to the Basant Utsav of 2025. Holi, the festival of love, colors and joy.
The first, of course, first of the order of the day is Happy Holi to all of you. It's a great honor to be here with all of you. This is my third Holi as Consul General of India here in Johannesburg. And let me tell you that all these 3 years, this is like celebration of all of us coming together, celebrating. It has been all very remarkable. And I must say that this is all because of the efforts of some people who really go out of the way and put together events that allow us to come together and celebrate. And I would like to especially mention India Club, the entire Manco Executive Committee led by Manish ji.
From traditional rituals to modern festivities, the spirit of Holi brings people together in a beautiful blend of tradition and fun. Here at Sri Radhesham Mandir, the air is filled with laughter, music, and of course, a splash of color.
I think so. It's a privilege for Sri Radhesham Mandir also that been inviting all the community, not particular religion, but everyone, and put it together here and celebrate the Holi. The Holi also is like includes everything. All the people include, and then the color of, like as CG said, the Rainbow Nation, all the color and creeds put together.
Happy Holi to everybody. Today's Holi has become like a double festival. India reached the final, so now the Holi with color, with cricket, everything. So people are having extra fun, and we are excited for this.
And as you can see, the festivities are high and the colors are rising, and everybody is having such a fantastic time here at Sri Radhesham Mandir. So, this is myself, Nazneen, for DD India, Johannesburg, and Happy Holi!
Also, the city of light, Paris, turned colourful as the Indian community and locals came together to celebrate Holi with music, dance and traditions. The festival brought joy and unity with delicious Indian food and lively Bollywood beats. From playing with colours to cultural performances, here are the best moments from this vibrant celebration.
Holi is one of the festivals which is very close to Indian hearts, no matter where they are living. We can see Holi celebrations in every corner of the world, and Indians living in Paris are not exception to this. They celebrate biggest Holi in Europe right here in Paris. Let's have a look how they celebrate.
A burst of colors, the beats of Bollywood music and spirit of joy. This is not India but the heart of Paris. Every year, thousands of people gather here to celebrate Holi. The festival of colors bringing a piece of Indian tradition to the streets of France with a great enthusiasm. This ancient Hindu festival symbolizing the arrival of spring and the victory of good over evil has become much anticipated event in the French capital, attracting not only Indians but also locals and tourists eager to experience the rich cultural traditions of India. One of the biggest Holi gatherings takes place at Jardin d'Acclimatation by LVMH Foundation along with Indian Embassy and Global Indians Organization. At least 30,000 people attend the festival. The celebration includes Bollywood dance and different Indian cultural performances. No Indian festival is complete without food. Food trucks and stalls offer traditional dishes, allowing visitors to taste authentic flavors from different Indian regions.
What started as a small community gathering has now turned into a large-scale cultural event, which reflecting strong Indian presence in France. For the Indian diaspora, Holi is not just about the colors, but its way to stay connected with their roots, while sharing in spirit of joy and inclusivity with the world.
The highlight of the festival is a grand parade, which is typically commences through the park. This procession features a splendid display of Indian culture, including a rath carrying a royal couple of legends, Raja and Rani. The parade offers an immersive experience reflecting the vibrancy and diversity of Indian traditions. With each passing year, Holi in Paris continues to grow, embracing more people from diverse backgrounds and reinforcing the message of love. As the city looks forward to the next celebration, one thing remains certain: Holi will always be a festival that brings colors, happiness and togetherness to the heart of France. Rohini Gosavi in Paris, reporting for DD India.
Alright, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. Well, we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.